Welcome back. You are listening to Trend Lightly. We're back. We're fired up. I'm Brian Beckner. I'm here with Molly McAleer as always. Hey, Molly, what's up?
Oh, not much, dude. I love that this week was, I think, a good week online, but we have some time to fuck around a little bit because there was nothing crazy.
Yeah, it's always better when there's not anything too heavy because I feel so out of my element because I'm so dumb and I feel like I'm faking it when I have to talk about a real subject. It's better. I like to do the lighter stuff better. That's more my lane.
Well, I don't know if that's going to help you feel any better this episode because we are talking about Taylor Swift off the bat.
Yes. So, someone I know nearly nothing about.
Right.
Like,
So I do love
other than
Taylor
when Ryan
Swift.
Adams, I know you love her. Other than when Ryan Adams covered her amazing album 1989. If there's a dad rock connection, then I know about it for sure.
Awesome. That's also, I think, what the fan base knows. They would peg you for that.
100%.
Having that awareness. Okay, so basically, she does this long form game of Easter eggs. She's been doing this since, I think she maybe started planting stuff more consciously during Red. But ever since 1989, it's been her leaving hints and
Yes.
hints and clues all over the internet. Anything from how many emojis she uses to the timestamp of an Instagram post to maybe the way she uses a word. And that's something you're going to see a lot is that people hinge on literally her word choice or where words go in sentences. And after Taylor Swift dropped Folklore and then Evermore, I think, and then now Fearless, the first re-recording, I think her fans are basically like, anything can happen now, but we have a lot of theories about what's going to happen. A lot of people are craving a third album in the Folklore Evermore story. That's been a highly suspected thing. A lot of people thought, so April 30th was the day that kept coming up for a lot of people in the numerology of it all, in the hints of it all, in the amount of days that it took between Folklore to release Evermore. If you count up all of those dates, I think it equaled April 30th. So everyone thought something was coming April 30th. Some people thought it was the third album that I mentioned. Some people thought it was maybe her announcing the release of 1989. Some people thought that it was a music video. There was so many theories. Most people were convinced it was some sort of album release. A lot of people even thought maybe she would release 1989, Red, and Speak Now all at the same time. Crazy shit, right?
Is it, and you, because you know about this, I want to know, is it, because she's such a genius marketer, is it almost better for her to drop all these hints about something but not say anything concrete and then have all the Swifties worked up into a lather about what's going to happen? Everybody determines that, she's dropped all these Easter eggs at April 30th, something's coming. Isn't it kind of better for her to not do anything, because then they're still in a lather, then they're still working up for the next thing? That's part of her genius, right?
Yeah. So she has mastered the art of basically giving us next to nothing. Whereas I feel like a lot of, especially pop stars, are very in touch online with their audience. They give a lot. They do a lot of interview moments. You get a lot of performances. Taylor has given us a lot of material in terms of documentaries, albums, all sorts of stuff this last year. But she has become more and more private. And so she really has used this internet fandom to her best advantage. She doesn't have to go out and promote. She simply drops 3 prayer hands emojis and there's press going 24/7. I mean, it trends constantly. And if you're on TikTok like me, you see how everyone winds each other up. That's the craziest part of the fandom. And I want you to take in this little collection of sort of what was leading up to April 30th, where arguably nothing happened. Some people think that the Instagram post that Taylor made was what April 30th was leading up to. I think she simply just felt like she had to post something knowing that she had all that attention on her. So she used it to plug it, like an indie artist, Girl in Red, which is also, by the way, like a meme with the younger generation. Like, do you listen to Girl in Red? That's a way of asking someone if they're gay. So this is a big, it's crazy ultimately that this is what she used for the fandoms that already have this worm brain, as you want, as you might call it, right? Because not only is she making references, Girl in Red, right? That's an album to a reference, Red, but there's a lot of mythology around Taylor Swift's romantic life. And so the idea that she was plugging this, very, a I don't know. I think Girl in Red's just a girl. This musical act that is so closely tied to the LGBTQ community
Right.
was a huge win for the people that love that narrative about Taylor. So let's listen to this and feel free. I mean, I speak this fluently, so
Sure.
feel
Oh no,
free
I might
to
have
stop at any
questions.
point.
Okay, let's play number one.
I honestly don't even know where to begin with this video, but something could be coming on April 30th. Something could be coming soon, just in general. So I guess I'm going to be talking about that. I don't even know. Okay, so basically, if you watch any of my like Woodvale theory videos or just saw anything about the Woodvale theories or the third album theories, basically that day that it was going to be announced was going to be April 30th, and obviously that's coming up soon.
Do some of these Swifties have more cachet in the Taylor Swift community? Like, are these known talkers?
There's one known Swiftie in particular who's the last one in this compilation. I have a real love-hate relationship with Swifties online. I actually hate most of the figurehead Swifties. I cannot stand them. And I also like the Taylor Swift Reddit. Like, I want nothing to do with those nightmare people. I really don't. Like,
Yeah.
it's just too much crafting and cupcakes and, oh, she's in love with Joe. And, oh, this is all about my mom and dad, Taylor and Harry Styles. It's insane. The fandom is fucking insane. We've got women older than me saying shit like that. So, yes, there are, I would say, like Swiftie influencers, and one set of that group are the people that have been invited to her house to go to secret sessions. If you've been to secret sessions, you are a verified celebrity within the Swiftie world.
Oh, wow. Fascinating. Okay.
You get on Reddit and you do an AMA. You are getting follows on Instagram. You think months in advance. When you find out you're going to a secret session, you start brainstorming, what is my pose with Taylor going to be? There are people who have never even, come close to a secret session who already know exactly what their pose will be with Taylor.
That's amazing. That's incredible. I want to exist in that world so much. Okay, let's let this girl finish.
Soon. And then Taylor started tweeting with a bunch of threes in her caption. So that got the theories rolling again. So basically, Taylor just said this and responded to a tweet about Fearless and said, been in the studio all day recording the next one. It's really so amazing, blah, 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 with 3 emojis. So the fact that Taylor said recording and not re-recording kind of had people being like, wait, what? And then also the fact that she's been tweeting a lot of threes recently, because she also tweeted it at like 3:30 or something. Anyways, there'll be a part 2 to this.
Fascinating, but that didn't come true.
No, it didn't. So that's Swiftie Mackie. She's Champagne Folky on TikTok. That's my girl.
Oh, really?
I had her on
knowledge.
I had her on Quarantinis.
Of course you did.
Yeah, I when she was just 17, she was like 2 weeks away from being 18. And I was like, your theories are off the chain. This is so entertaining. Even if it's not true, if it doesn't come true, so entertaining. Yeah. So I had her, because Nicole, my co-host on my daily quarantine podcast on my Patreon, she is a new Taylor Swift fan, and I was like,
Uh-huh.
no, you have to fall in love with like the craziness of it, because as much as I love Taylor's music, what I love is that she's a little crazy, and I love that she brings that out in her fans. Like, it's dork hours. Like, you don't have the girls like, you know, doing what the Ariana fans do for Taylor. You know what I mean? You have a more wholesome, stay at home, knit, figure out this mystery type fan.
Yeah, it's there's so many levels to this, to the Swiftie fandom. And the one thing I wonder about is like, you're I don't know how to, I want to say this in a way that is
Sure.
You're an older Taylor Swift fan.
Actually, I'm oddly like I'm average. I would say that like the older fans are like literally in their 50s.
Because I just remember her being really known to have this army of young fans, and I wonder as her fans grow up, are they going to age out of their love of Taylor Swift, or is she just constantly minting these new children that follow her, or is it just is it all over the place?
She started out in country music. So like, as always in the world of like a Leanne Rimes, for example, right? Like the country world is open to presenting young stars in a different way. So she was packaged very wholesome, right? So that's
she had
like
that curly hair. She
appealing.
played her guitar. Yeah.
She writes her own songs. That does very well in country radio. She seems like a hometown girl type, you would go to high school with her. So that helps blow her up. But Taylor has grown a lot as a person over the years in her career. And at this point, her youngest fans at the very beginning are now parents who have children who are Swifties.
Right. Okay. That makes sense.
And when you think about the diversity,
make more Swifties. Yeah.
The diversity in her catalog, she has, the pop album 1989. Yeah. She has this like sort of, dark album Reputation, which is my favorite personally, outside of Folklore and Evermore, which are her newest efforts and are very, they're just very grown up. Like she's working with the National and Bon Iver. Like she's doing a very grown up sound, especially, on the other side of coming from country, singing about like love songs. So she's got something in the catalog for just about anyone. And when you mention young fans, I think that she is one of the biggest commercial artists of all time, literally of all time. So she came about in the age of like younger people. It just so happened that a large group of her fans also happened to be very online. So whereas like Nicki Minaj, right? Like the Barbs, who also owned Twitter very much during the time that Taylor Swift was first blowing up. Yeah. Nicki Minaj's fans are almost all young.
Yeah.
So they're able to create similar amounts of noise.
Here's the next video.
Hey Swifties. So I got this postcard, right, from Taylor, like a Christmas card kind of thing, from when I got my duffel bag. From the merch. Oh, I need to dye my hair. Look at that. Look at all that brown that's coming up. Ew, look at it. You can see. Anyways, and I noticed red, green, and blue, and it's kind of muted. But again, blue is showing up as that third, right?
Right.
So red, green, and blue. Hold on. Now I'm realizing that the blue cat is Meredith, and Meredith has been gone. Guys.
Okay.
I mean, when you're this big, you can literally do anything and people will find meaning in it. It's genius.
Yep. So she put her 3 cats on a Christmas card. She also did all of her Folklore and Evermore merch were green, blue, and red. And people feel like green was Folklore, red was Evermore. So blue must be this third album in the trilogy. Right. So what does Taylor do when Fearless goes #1 last week, in the middle of all of this, like a fucking sick bitch genius that she is, she's worse than Elizabeth Holmes. She's sick. She's like Hannibal Lecter. I really do feel this way about her.
Yeah.
She drops a video being like, I know a lot of you have noticed that Meredith is missing because people keep asking, where's her oldest cat, Meredith? She's obsessed with her cats. Where's Meredith?
Yeah.
She finally reveals Meredith. So as this kid is saying Meredith was missing, they revealed her. Oh my God, April 30th is 7 days away. This must be sort of like her continuing to hint that she's going to do this album drop.
She is like so tuned in. It's crazy. It's so crazy. But it's interesting that you compare her to, you basically say she's evil, but you love her.
No, I do. I mean, like when I say that, I say that the way that I would about like like my favorite villain in a movie where I'm like, oh, she's so like Serial Mom. Like, I'm like, oh, you gotta love her. Like, she's fucking crazy. Like, Taylor takes the time to do things that most artists in her position do not take the time to do. And it makes all of the difference in her fandom. And that shows up in her record sales, which shows up in her legacy. So she's just, it's very simply like doing things that other artists don't do. They might come on, they might make a cute tweet. They might say hi to their fans. They might have good reputation for their meet and greet behavior or whatever. But what Taylor does by doing just the simplest things, by kind of carefully crafting and then releasing information bit by bit and tying in like what could be perceived as clues, she gets these people all worked up because she has done a few things that were like, oh my God, that was there the whole time. How did we not know something was coming?
It's genius. It's just beyond. It's incredible. Do you want me to play another one or we
keep going? No, okay. I mean, we should at least get to the story of what's going to happen. Maybe skip down a couple if you want.
Okay. Maybe go to like number 5.
Yeah.
Okay. Here we go. Oh, this is the girl from the first one.
It is officially time.
I think.
Tomorrow,
no, maybe not.
We will know if Woodvale was an actual thing. So let's recap. So Taylor has gone silent for a while now, but today was like the anniversary of Cardigan, and Aaron Dessner tweeted this and said, "Happy birthday, Cardigan," with the 3 praying emojis, which are the same emojis that Taylor had used in that tweet. Like, why do you use the same emojis? Like, come on. And then Taylor Nation posted this picture and said, "I made you my temple, my mural, my sky. Now I'm begging for footnotes and story of your life," which is a lyric from Tolerated. But it says "my" 3 times, which people noted. But it's also like we've kind of moved on from the Folklore Evermore era, and now they've posted a thing for Cardigan yesterday and then a thing for Evermore today. And it's kind of similar to when they did this, and the day after they posted this, they released You All Over Me. But just so you guys know, Taylor has to post something else or delete 2 posts for it to even line up. So.
Oh, that's it.
Yeah. So basically, she's a genius. She's an evil genius. And I think you can just skip ahead and play the last one now. When everyone realized, okay, it got down to like really the stages of grief. There were people on there being like, well, it is 8 a.m. on the 29th. Normally, this is when she would be announcing that she has an album coming out. But maybe because the first 2 were so big and she doesn't need to get people excited 24 hours in advance, she's just going to drop it at midnight and with a video. And people were doing the real, like it was QAnon shit. It was very much March 14th.
Yeah. That's,
you know what March 14th is, right?
No, of course not.
After the inauguration, all the Trump people were like, it's fine. March 14th, they thought it was, filmed on a Hollywood backlot, and that on March 14th, Trump would come back. The military has been listening to Trump.
Yes. But then they moved it back. They're like March 14th. No, actually March 20th.
And that's a little bit what being a Swiftie is like. It's very much TAnon, right? So you're like reading into everything. And like at a certain point, like we this guy got arrested the other day in Indiana. He was like a pedophile.
Oh my God.
And it turns out this guy has a TikTok. And he posted it on 4-9, and the song that he played underneath it was a Taylor Swift song. And I said to Nicole, like, do you think this is a TS10 Easter egg? Because he got arrested the day before. He got arrested on April 29th. 4-9 is when he posted as a Taylor Swift song underneath. Like, that's where you can go with it if you want. You can literally take it into something that has nothing to do with anything. And that's like a game that I've had fun playing, is like finding the Taylor Swift in like literally almost anything.
Yeah, it's like the license plate game. You could just find it anywhere you want to see it. Okay, here's.
But wait, can you do one thing to show how she's actually like quite good at this, like in intention?
Okay, I don't know if anybody came on here and talked about this on TikTok, but I just saw it on Reddit and my mind is fucking blown. So, remember in the Stephen Colbert interview when Taylor references the episode of Law and Order that Stephen Colbert was in? Not only was Stephen's character named James, there is also an Inez and a Betty. What the how could she have forced, like, what?
And so James, Inez, and Betty are the names of Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds' children, who Taylor used their names for folklore. And her cat is named after Detective Olivia Benson. So she makes a point to go on Colbert. These 3 names are in this episode. And she drops all this. So like you know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying is like, that's where it's a cat and mouse game. Because she's
working it.
She fucks with you. So our last guy,
smart. Yeah.
Our last guy here is Steven Sully. And this is like one of the big TikTok Swifties. Steven plays it a little straight for me. I'm not going to lie. I like my Swift theories a little more zany. He's very logical. But this is a great summary of, I think, what everyone took away from Taylor posting that girl in red on Instagram story.
All right, let's check it out.
Okay. Let's talk about Taylor Swift's Instagram story because
Malls. So this podcast is not video yet. Well, when we become Oprah, there might be a video aspect to what we do here. But much like with Jojo Siwa's voice, which I had never heard until we played it on this show and you did not prepare me, this Swifty's eyebrows here are so just beyond the pale of how normal people's eyebrows grow. It's insane to me that you would not pre-warn me, hey, when you play this video, watch out for this guy's eyebrows. You're not going to be ready.
Now I feel bad because everyone picks on Steven for his eyebrows when in reality he actually has terrible takes you could make fun of him for. But like...
Malls, hold on. I'm not making fun of his eyebrows.
No, I know. I'm just kidding.
Saying they're unusual. And I just I hadn't seen that before.
And by the way, no hate to Steven. This guy puts in, time over time. Yeah, he does. He has prominent eyebrows.
Very. Like, he's like a older male Brooke Shields, but even with bigger eyebrows. So that's.
But if you're a guy who loves eyebrows, Steven's your dude.
I mean, yes, absolutely. I love his eyebrows. I wish I had some of his eyebrows.
Or are you gonna dump your girlfriend for Steven? Is that where this is going? You're like, I'm like in love. I love him, Molly. Like I love his eyebrows.
Yes, I'm in love with him. I've fallen in love with him. He also appears to have a double jointed index finger. Maybe that's just how I paused it. This man is my one true love, and I'm here to admit that.
That's how I feel about Telly.
Oh yeah, Telly from the Baller Lifestyle Podcast is your. Oh man. I don't know if we should digress here, but you've announced that you'll come visit him in Fort Collins, Colorado, if he puts you up the Four Seasons. And I was like, Malls, there is no Four Seasons in Fort Collins, Colorado. But then he messaged us, or he tweeted, oh no, but we have this other hotel and it's a very chic hotel, Malls.
But
Okay.
like, I didn't say I was going to go visit Telly. I said
Yes, you did.
no, I didn't say I'm going to go. I said I would consider it maybe, like I was entertaining the idea as a bit. And then I was like, I would if he put me up at the Four Seasons. That's not like, oh, I'm going in March. Like, there's no like hard date on it. Like, it's not that
No one's saying
real.
that. No, we're working up towards it though. What we're saying is that there's no Four Seasons there, but there might be a suitable accommodation for you to go there. And I like how you're playing hard to get. Like you're not going to end up at Telly's condo with Telly.
I like that you think that I'm like
playing
I like
video games.
that you think that like that's what's been holding me back. Like I just haven't met Telly. Like this isn't something that I'm not seeking this out.
Oh, you are. Absolutely you are, because you tweeted to him a picture, a TikTok video of a guy, of a greenskeeper, because Telly's a big golfer, of a greenskeeper drilling the hole on a golf course on a green. And you're like, is this what you do to the bartender every other Sunday night? Because we've determined that he hooks up with a bartender at his favorite bar, the Basement Bar, every other Sunday night. Malls, that's flirting. You're flirting with him. That's sexting.
It was like taunting. I was taunting him.
Oh, I wonder what the listeners think.
Right.
Listeners, what do you think about that? What would you think if somebody made that tweet to you?
Oh,
hey,
like
it's an overtly sexual image, and then she says to you, "Hey, is this what you do?" That's, I mean, to me, that's sexting. You're doing sexting with him.
No, you know what? Actually, you're right. It does have the vibe of like a 12-year-old girl who doesn't realize is that like she's been bullying her crush because she has a crush on him. You're right. It does have that vibe to it.
Absolutely. Okay, can I play this video while you deal with your issue?
Yeah. Go back to your boyfriend, Steven.
Okay.
Because I think it is the most chaotic thing she's ever done. So she posts Girl in Red's new album, congratulating them. Okay, everyone, drop everything now and support and stream and buy this album because it is spectacular. She puts drop everything now in there, a line from drop everything now, meet me in the pouring rain, sparks fly. On Speak Now, like her third album, she puts it in purple font on the, it's like ridiculous. So boom, we got people who think the three emojis mean Speak Now.
So boom. Somebody make that my ringtone.
It's a sincere fan base. It's an earnest. It's a very earnest fan base.
It's the accent. It's the way he pronounces it. So boom. Okay, let's let him continue.
Now losing their minds. She also confirms that she listens to Girl in Red, so boom, Gaylors losing their minds. Also, apparently that track that she decided to share is the 10th track from...
She decided, like, this guy's got a weird accent. I mean, he's amazing. I wish I could be this earnest or interested in anything. Like, I'm so jealous of this human being that he's dedicated his life to this. He's so into it. He's up on all the news. He's sharing on his TikTok. He's got a following. You know, he's got like people, and it's amazing and it's beautiful. So boom, here
from the Girl in Red album.
Yes, Malls.
I'm just dying laughing. Never mind.
Okay,
go
album. So people who are still somehow holding on for TS10 to come out, boom, losing their minds. And she posts this on April 30th, the day when everyone has collectively decided to lose their minds. I cannot express how much I hope the post means nothing, and it's just her congratulating Girl in Red, and she's sitting on her phone today like, ha ha ha, they all look like fools. They fell into my trap.
Wow.
So in order to not resent her, I think that Swifties also do some stuff like, oh, she's probably at home right now looking, and she is probably at home doing that.
Well,
she's like a weirdo product of the internet.
Yes, she is. She's extremely focused on her career. She's very driven. She's, I think, constantly coming up with new plans, she probably has like a 20-year plan of
Oh, for
here's
sure.
here's when the
She
albums
said
are coming out.
before-
Yeah.
She said before that there's Easter eggs she's planted in like just the Look What You Made Me
Genius.
Do video
Genius.
that people won't understand for 20 years.
Yeah. Yeah. I believe
Like,
it.
what do you mean? How do you know, Taylor? How do you know
I believe it. I absolutely
what's happening
believe it.
in 20 years that it's going to connect for us? But
Yes.
listen,
She's a visionary.
yeah,
Yeah.
you know, Steven, a lot of these guys, you know, listen, I got so much respect for the fact that they create positivity online for the most part.
Yeah.
There's a little like ranting and raving about, you know, Swifties love to gatekeep.
Yes.
You know, like if you're a fan of a certain relationship, you're not a real fan.
Oh, that's so annoying. This is like how punk was back in the day, where punk is supposed to be all inclusive and anybody can like it, and it doesn't matter. Like a lot of bands that it doesn't need to sound a certain way to be punk. But then if you had the wrong t-shirt, or you didn't know like every song off an album, people would act like you didn't belong in the place, which is supposedly an all-inclusive place. It's the same thing with Taylor Swift, where they're like, yeah, but you don't know the reference here, or you know, I can't think.
You know what?
Know
Gatekeeping Taylor Swift is, I think, a perfect segue to the next thing we wanted to talk about.
Yes.
Which is this new word. It's not a new word, but it's gaining popularity. Why? Okay, you said that this whole thing made you feel old, but I'm just like confused. Did you not like? There have been words like zeitgeist was a big word back in like 2004. It had a huge resurgence. It was like everyone just learned the word for the first time. Yeah. Did you feel old because of that?
No, it's that. So one, I don't know how to pronounce this word. It's chuggy. Chuggy. I don't know how to pronounce this word, but I read this whole article and I still don't know. If I would be able to identify a person that's chuggy. So can I read the definition from Urban Dictionary of chuggy?
Yeah.
The opposite of trendy. Stylish in middle school and high school, but no longer in style. Used when someone still follows these out-of-date trends. This may include, but not be limited to, fashion, habits on social media, usage of slang, etc. Example: my friend told me to change out of my favorite pair of Miss Me jeans because they were chuggy.
Okay, so
it's out of fashion. Chuggy is out of fashion.
It's a little bit more nuanced than that. It's out of fashion, but like unaware or maybe not self-conscious. If you want, check out the document I posted. I put a link to the TikTok that blew up, that sort of made this word go wide over the last month. This was posted on March 30th.
Yeah, because I want to understand chuggy. I want to know about chuggy. I want to be able to use it. Oh, no, you...
Click it.
No, there's no... I got you. See? I'm chuggy because I don't know that you can sometimes click the words and it's actually a link.
That's not what I don't think. Maybe it is.
I'm going to use it that way. Hold on.
Maybe like accusing me. Maybe accusing me of not linking is chuggy.
That's chuggy.
Versus not knowing. Maybe coming in with you did it wrong before you even brought your scroller down. That's a little chuggy.
You're flipping it on me, but I was making fun of myself. Okay, here we go.
Right, but it started out with an attack on me, saying that I did it wrong.
An attack.
So no, I'm just saying that's like might be a way that you talk to people you want to think about, especially people who care about you, and go out of their way to copy and paste a link to place in a document so that you'll feel less old and out of touch and helpless in this world, frankly.
I didn't realize those words were a link. And you know what? That was very chuggy of me. Let's play the TikTok.
It was pretty fucking chuggy.
It was hardcore chuggy.
That my friends and I use that you clearly are all in need of. So I keep seeing videos like this on my For You page.
Things that give off, I got married at 25.
Or people will
That's
say
a
things
mom
like,
at.
this
Can
is
you pause that?
Yeah.
That was a mom at Home Goods, just so people know what she was talking about, going through those signs that say like gather, live, laugh, love, all those wooden planks you see at a Target or a Home Goods or a World Market.
Yes. But the thing is, for something to be chuggy, it had to be cool at one point, and those things were never cool.
That was peak Tumblr. Like in terms of the zeitgeist, I would say around 2012, 2013, those were actually things that influencers would have in their homes.
So-
and then now they're
Yeah.
so,
Chuggy.
you know, it's like when
Chuggy.
avocados are chuggy.
Avocados are fucking delicious.
No, avocados are chuggy.
Oh, because of avocado toast?
Because of avocado like culture. Do you remember like when you couldn't go to Target without seeing a t-shirt that had an avocado on it? Or like a purse shaped like an avocado.
Yes, right. Yes.
And like, it's like, why is this child running around with a stone fruit on its shirt? Like, are you really that passionate about avocado? It became almost like the way bacon is chuggy.
Yeah, I could see bacon being a little chuggy. But I mean, both of those things, both of those food items are staple food items. Like you're not.
But like, in
no one goes a week. Right. No one goes no one goes a week without eating bacon or an avocado. But yes, if you ever had an avocado t-shirt or a fucking bacon, making bacon. Well, no, that almost flips it around.
It's not if
Making
you
bacon's
ever
cool.
had it. It's that if you still stan avocados now, as if this was back in 2012 when it seemed like the world found out about avocados.
Yep.
You're chuggy now. If you're like, oh my God, every day I have to, that could be a chuggy thing about you. Cause like, I think we all have chuggy things in our lives, right?
But here's the problem for me is like Miley Cyrus's Breathe tattoo is chuggy now, but it was fucking chuggy in the first place.
Right. So keep going through this video, maybe.
As is having an avocado purse. I'm sorry. If you have an avocado purse now, you're chuggy. But if you had it when it was supposedly cool to have an avocado purse, you're still fucking chuggy.
No, but it was on trend in the eyes of, I would say, the general public. It was on trend. It was more about, it's not about like authentic coolness. It's about trendiness, I think.
Right.
I don't think it's about any sort of inherent coolness.
Right. Okay.
This is millennial or girl boss energy. All of these terms are pointing to the same thing. The word, my friends, is chuggy, okay? It's the opposite of trendy, stylish in middle school and high school, maybe not. Timelines don't really matter, but it's no longer in style. It's used when someone follows these out-of-date trends or something falls into that category. Some examples. First of all, graphic tees and hats, phrases on clothing, chuggy. Herbal Essence shampoo, chuggy.
Oh, yeah. No.
Instagram captions like these, chuggy. The word you never knew you needed. Okay,
Okay.
You know what's chuggy?
Yeah. What?
Kabbalah.
Oh, fuck yeah. And having a little red string. Yes.
Yeah, if you got a red string right now and you're out here telling your friends about Kabbalah, like, oh, you might want to join this spiritual practice I found, that's chuggy. Because no one is pursuing that with the same vigor they pursued when it was initially trendy.
So, Malls, this is one of the things that I think makes you so unique is that example is so fucking perfect because everything else that's been described so far I thought was lame in the first place. Kabbalah, I had no opinion on when it was popular, but I know that it was very trendy at the time. And now you describing it as chuggy makes it completely elucidates the meaning of what chuggy is for me. Yeah.
These were never cool either, but like this might unlock this for another people. You know, like those scarves that people used to wear, like the t-shirt with the scarf thing, that is inherently chuggy. If you see someone wearing like a loose wrapped scarf over a t-shirt, they're doing that in the face of it not being cool.
Right.
So they're
It's
engaging.
the opposite
They're
now.
they're either clueless and genuinely being chuggy, or they're engaging in some chuggy behavior, which I think we all have a thing like that. I'm trying to think of the chuggiest thing I do, but I know we all have things we engage in that are like that.
Yeah.
Like a classic chuggy for me, the mustache tattoo on the inner finger, the pointer
Oh,
finger.
You have that?
No, I don't have
Oh.
that. No,
Oh.
when I see that on other people, I think
Oh,
chuggy.
yeah. So chuggy. Jonah Hill has that. It's so chuggy. That's super chuggy. You know what's going to be chuggy?
What?
Hard seltzer. Hard seltzer is about, I would say, 3.5 years from being super chuggy. It's not going to exist in a while. Look, I lived through wine coolers. I lived through Smirnoff Ice. I lived through dry beer. I lived through ice beer. I know how this goes. Hard
I feel that way
seltzer?
about like martinis, like the way that like an apple martini is in this, or a lychee. Do you remember when everyone was like, "Oh yeah, I love lychee. It's like my favorite flavor." Like lychee's great, but we're like us Americans, we should not be acting like we grew up with lychee and like lychee, like let's just get that going. I'm not saying don't expand your palate. I'm just saying stop acting like you've eaten lychees your whole life. Like this is
No.
new to you too. You just found out about this.
Of course. Absolutely. Absolutely. 100% agree with
That
you.
was painstaking back then.
Totally. 100%.
This episode is brought to you by HP Instant Ink. No one is reading your mind, but HP Instant Ink knows when your printer is running low and sends you new cartridges, so you never have to think about ink. Save up to 50%. You'll pay less than $5 a month for ink and never run out again. Find out if your printer is eligible and enroll today at hpinstantink.com. Conditions apply. For details, visit hp.com/instantink Spotify. This episode is brought to you by Simply by Frito-Lay. You have enough on your plate, but now there's one less thing to overthink with Simply by Frito-Lay. It's your favorite Frito-Lay snacks with ingredients to feel good about, like Simply Blue Corn Tostitos, Sea Salted Ruffles, and White Cheddar Cheetos Puffs. All made with no artificial flavors or colors. So enjoy what you love and look for Simply brand snacks online or at a store near you.
Support for this podcast comes from Invent Together. According to studies, less than 13% of all inventors who hold a U.S. patent are women. Black and Hispanic college graduates patent at half the rate of their white counterparts. But we can fix that by increasing participation in innovation and patenting by underrepresented groups. It would quadruple the number of American inventors and increase annual GDP by almost $1 trillion. Invent Together is a coalition of organizations, companies, universities, and concerned citizens committed to ensuring that everyone has the opportunity to invent and patent. Because the more diverse the American patent system gets, the stronger and more successful our nation will become. What can you do to help diverse inventors patent and unleash economic opportunity? Find out at inventtogether.org. Learn more and take action today.
What else is are we living with right now that's trendy? That's going to be chuggy as fuck.
Okay, soon to be chuggy. I think honestly, athleisure.
Oh,
like wearing
interesting. Still comfortable,
Lululemon.
though.
I know.
Yeah.
But I think like the Gen Z is going to turn on that, and they're going to be like, no, we wear like they made Champion expensive.
I know.
Like
Champion.
when we were growing up, Champion
Yes.
was a nice brand. If you were poor,
Right.
and you had
Yes.
Champion, ballin'.
Like this is a West Coast reference, but Champion is some shit they sold at Big Five, which is like a low end, like seconds sporting goods store.
Yeah.
Like Champion is bullshit. And now, like my guy Todd Snyder who's a designer, right? He does collabs with Champion. So a Champion sweatshirt can be like $300. I would say that's already chuggy. Champion's done.
It is done. I mean, it's done in like yes. Okay. So I that brings me to my next point. I think that we are post-pandemic. We're going to see some major shit. Like we're about to live through the roaring 20s, essentially. Like this is going to be crazy. Like everything's going to change. All of our values, all of that Gucci shit that was so popular, all that hype beast shit that people
Yep.
sold their souls
Supreme.
for
Yep.
3 years ago. Yep. All of that stuff, chuggy. To me, it's already chuggy. It's not quite in the zone yet, but that is, I would put money on that.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. Like any of that, champ or Supreme. Oh, fucking Off-White. Like if I see somebody walk into, back in the before times when you used to go places, people are starting to go places again. If I see somebody walk in to a restaurant with Off-White sneakers with that stupid fucking zip tie through the eyelet today, that's fucking chuggy as fuck. Like no one's doing that. That's a bad look.
Totally.
That's 2 years ago.
I think makeup is going to see like a huge change because previously, like right even before the pandemic, it was starting to phase out, but gradually so is like the very drag inspired makeup that a lot of the makeup gurus, like the big people, the people that help make it the multi-billion-dollar industry that it is.
Yes.
Now you don't need the setting powder. You don't need the concealer and the full coverage foundation. It's like so many of those techniques that a lot of those YouTubers were using did not show up in the real world the same way they did outside of a studio with heavy lighting. So
James Charles is chuggy. The James Charles palette is chuggy.
I think that whole era of like, I think Jeffree Star is chuggy. Soon to be chuggy because it doesn't have the same feel as maybe like thinking. So the herbal essences thing is interesting, right? Because herbal essences was marketed to women in a way that you were supposed to be like, this is fruity, it's chic, I'm gonna smell fresh.
Women like the smell of things.
Yeah, like herbal essences was marketed to be cool for a while.
Yeah.
And for most of my childhood, it was kind of cool. And then they did the updated packaging that you saw in that TikTok there that was more like, I don't know, it looked like fucking speaker or something. But like it's that makes sense as chuggy because like no one would buy that product. I would say Aussie hair products are chuggy.
Oh, you're really going deep there because Aussie was the shit when I was like in elementary school.
Right. And if I saw that purple bottle in someone's bathroom, I'd be like, what's going on, girly? Not even that I would judge them truly, but like if you were an Instagram influencer, I think it's also about the way you act online, right?
Yeah.
Like, are you chuggy in your internet presence or are you just chuggy IRL to your friends?
Right. Yeah. I think both. I mean, if you have an internet presence, it's important not to be chuggy. Let's be honest. Most people's IRL friends are chuggy as hell.
Yeah. Ideally, right?
Yeah.
Ideally, you don't have friends that are like too cool for everything. And I think the older you get, the more you feel that way. These people are very young. We have to remember these people are they're young and they're trying to like figure out a way to like articulate how they feel about the style that is being sort of presented and forced upon them, right? Like, how do I make sense of myself within the guidelines of what's cool right now?
It's hard.
And so separating yourself from avocado culture and calling that chuggy is like a way of, sometimes it's easier to say what you don't want than what you want.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. It's hard to see the things that you want, but it's easy to see the things that you don't like.
And you don't want some avocado culture.
No, you don't. You know what I notice is that, shorts got real short. And that was like a big, I live at the beach. That was like a big culture shock because shorts for a long time were really long, like swim trunks, board shorts were really long. And then they got real short. And now I notice that they're starting to get a little bit longer again. They're not doing the short look anymore. But I'm just like, when the short look came back, it was very like junior high for me. And I'm like, oh no, this is my style. Like the style has finally come back to what what my style has always been. And now that I see the shorts going longer, I'm like, I've gone full dad. I'm like, oh no, I'm not wearing those long ass shorts. I wear the short ones. I wear dad
like
shorts.
A 5-inch seam?
Can I be honest with you?
Is it a 4-inch seam?
If I can find a shorter than 5-inch seam, I go with it. It's hard to find though.
All right.
I'm a 5-inch inseam guy because that's usually the shortest you can find. But if there's, a 4-inch inseam, I'll rock those for sure. They're hard to find.
Oh
though.
yeah. Listen, my legs are my asset too. So I understand. You know what I mean? Sometimes you just gotta know your asset and put it out there.
Well, that's the other thing. We don't have to get too deep in this, but I'm like a chubby, well, you know this because you texted me one time, are you obese, out of the blue? Hey.
No, I didn't. I was
Yes,
asking so you could, and by the way, everyone sides with me that I did the right thing.
No, you had good intentions.
Everyone sides with me, Brian.
No, I'm not.
Everyone.
I side with you. You have good intentions. But what you were doing, you're a comedy writer, Malls. You knew exactly what you were doing. You knew that you could come with the good intentions, but you could do it in a very funny way. And so when you text somebody out of the blue that you haven't spoken to in a couple days, and apropos of nothing, you text them 3 words, "Are you obese?" ? Like people are going to react to that a certain way.
Well, because the thing is I had realized at that point there's no nice way to bring it up.
Yes.
Because I had mentioned it to a friend in the backwards way of, hey, by the way, because this is a couple months ago. I was in California, you qualify. First of all, you also qualified if you were mentally ill. So I could have gone with that, but I decided to go with the much more delicate, are you obese?
Are you obese? Well, no, because no one, it's not believable.
Because I wanted to get you vaccinated earlier.
Yeah,
and no, because also my BMI has been off my whole life. I was very, honestly, trigger warning, very anorexic in the past. And my BMI was off. I don't think we've talked about it on this. No, I don't think we have. But I'm just saying that I thought, if your BMI is off one way, we can get my guy Bri in to get the vaccine earlier is if he is, in fact, medically obese. And I didn't know if you knew that about yourself.
Yes, I do. I probably am because I'm not tall and I'm stocky. And that's my original point that I was making here. I'm thick. I'm thick as fuck. And I have thick ass legs. So
you're a thick Guatemalan guy.
Yes, quarter Guatemalan. So skinny jeans, Malls?
Yeah.
Skinny jeans doesn't work on a body like mine because I have huge quads. They cannot get past my upper leg. Even if they fit in the waist, the legs are the issue. My legs are too fucking jacked.
Well, I was going to ask you, I don't know. I feel like if your quads are so big you can't put pants on, that's on you. I feel like you're not stretching right or something.
No,
or you're focusing too much on one muscle area.
Malls, it's the story of my life.
Because you've got fatty quads, you can't get regular pants.
Too fucking muscular.
Yeah.
Here's the main problems I've had in life. Too muscular.
Okay.
Too handsome.
Right.
Too funny.
Right.
These are the crosses I bear. This is you see me walking down the street dragging that big ass 2 2x6s of a cross. Well, I do that metaphorically. I'm carrying to the mountaintop my own burdens. Too muscular.
Right.
Too handsome.
Uh-huh.
Too funny. Should we talk about Disaster Girl?
Yeah. Okay. So this was great, right? So we know this meme, disaster girl, little
Yes.
girl standing in
Sure.
front of a house on fire.
Yeah. She's super cute. The house is burning and she's got that smirk on her face that makes you think, "Oh, this is Drew Barrymore in the movie Firestarter. She's burned this house down."
And when you look at that, like she's very much a little girl. She's probably no older than like 4 or 5 years old.
Yeah, I
So
would
like
say about
she's
4.
lived most of her life with this, all of her life with this
Yeah.
being her thing. She's finally, I think, 20 years old now.
Yeah.
And in this market of NFTs, she sold this for $500,000, which is incredible because not only did her father take and own the photo, so she was
Yeah.
able to do this,
Yeah.
but the money went directly to her, which I think is incredible because a lot of people become memes and get forgotten. I'm thinking of you, Mr. Chris Crocker. You know, like there's
Poor
people
Chris
that
Crocker.
become memes and it ruins their life.
Yeah.
And I think it was like a beautifully done photo. There's no negative connotation with it. And she was able to do quite well for herself with this.
Malls, it's probably stupid to ask you this question, but you know Grape Lady, right?
Let me look her up. Once I see it.
No,
I'll
we got to
know.
play it. We got to play it because this woman needs to be memed. She needs to NFT this meme more than anyone else in the world. This is one of the all-time greatest memes to ever exist. One of the
I know,
originals.
Grape Lady.
This is a local news segment where they go out to the reporter on the scene and she's going to stomp grapes with her feet, which, let's be honest, has not been done since that one episode of I Love Lucy. They're not really.
It's only done for television. They did it on like Real Housewives. It's a TV producers like
yes. And for some reason,
I'm so sorry.
That's okay. And for some reason, they when they went to make the segment, they're like, "How about if we put the grape buckets on a raised platform?" And then this happens.
Buckets are filled with grapes. What kind of grapes? These are filled with Chamberson grapes, and the winner this Saturday, who's stomping music, eating international food,
just stomping
having
those
wine
grapes
tours,
on a raised
tastings,
platform.
vineyard tours, seminars, arts and crafts.
What could go wrong?
It's a lot of fun, a whole day.
You're in a bucket. She starts to style it.
I can't. Ow, stop. I can't breathe. Stop.
She's fine.
No.
Oh
dear.
I think she's actually hurt.
No, I think she is.
Yeah, she's hurt. She took a hard fall.
You could tell the studio hosts hate her guts. By the
So
way,
I'm not watching this video with you, but it sounded like based off of the squishing at the beginning that the reporter herself might have been going a little hard.
When at the point where she goes, stop. It's like somebody's about to do a skateboard trick. And then she just starts stomping her feet really hard and fast to like style her grape stomping. And that's when she eats shit. And then
So that's the mistake. These are the things that people who are actually on TV do that like you think as an audience member are like, oh, I would totally like, no. There's a reason why you don't go ham stomping grapes during an interview, especially when you're on a platform. You got to do the delicate TV squish. Is she producing wine? No, but she's getting the segment done. Now, this is where someone like her is fucked in the NFT market, same as Bad Baby. She doesn't own this video.
Right.
It's very rare that like you might actually own the meme that you are the subject of.
Yeah. So this girl, Zoe Roth, her dad took the picture. So she owns the meme. She marketed it as an NFT and it went for $500,000. Somebody bought, what's she called again? Disaster Girl. Somebody bought Disaster Girl for $500,000. Now,
this is the one that I like. I like this one because it's a beautiful photograph.
It's really good.
This holds up and makes sense to have the rights to it. You can't resell it if you own the NFT, I don't think. But I mean, Brian, I'll tell you.
Yeah.
I've tried so many times in preparation for this podcast. I've opened up so many, what is an NFT article? I've even gone to YouTube and just been like, I'll just sit here like an idiot. Just explain it to me.
I know.
It is every
Yeah.
single time
Yes.
I am snoozing.
I'm so glad.
15 seconds in, I don't want to do it. I don't want to know. And you know what? I feel so dumb about it because I know I'm fucking myself by not educating myself on this. I know that it's going to be too late by the time I finally like wake up and decide to figure out what this is. The NFT train is going to be gone for people like you and me.
Yeah. I mean, it's like the way I understand it, and you're probably going to think I'm an idiot. So, because I could be wrong.
I don't know.
The way I
is.
understand it is an NFT is basically like its own crypto token. So it's like you're buying this thing that it's just one of, and that eventually somebody else is going to want to have just one of that thing. It's not the picture that's so valuable. It's the picture that just brands this token that you own. And
I think you're buying the art itself.
You are? Yes.
Yeah, because I think like that's why something like this is going for a lot of money.
Yes. But the pictures in this New York Times article, they didn't pay the NFT holder to run the picture. I can
that's because they can't license it anyway.
Right.
So the owner of this wouldn't be able to like kill Disaster Girl. You know what I mean? They wouldn't be able to like go around copyright striking this image.
Yes.
But here's the thing about NFTs that are interesting in relation to crypto, because they're actually not great for the environment. Because way that the way that mining works in crypto is that, from my understanding, I have a very like basic understanding of it, but essentially it takes up like so much computer power to mine crypto, or to like go through the actions of mining crypto is basically a way to get quote unquote free crypto, but a lot of people don't recommend it because you use so much electricity trying to get the free crypto,
of course,
that it's not worth it. Your electric bill will be more. So that's something I don't understand. I don't know how it takes up so much more electricity, but you have to have like a special computer to mine, like meaning special, like I think isolated, designated for.
Right. Yeah. Everything's bad.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, I just didn't see, like, you would think they would figure out a way to do something as, like, owning and trading digital images. Like, you would think they'd be able to figure out a way to do that without destroying. I think New Zealand is fucked because of this.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think, like, New Zealand is fucked. I think it's like something like there's a specific country. It's going to be bad for everyone. But, like, you know, when you start to fuck around with, like, Australia.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's one of the ones.
Hey,
it's one of the ones.
Nobody regrets fucking around with Australia more than me.
I know. I know.
You don't fuck with Australia. I'll just say that. We'll just leave it at that.
Guys, whenever it comes up, whenever there's a great catfishing story or a great online bride story, like if there's ever a Russian bride or Australian bride sort of story in the news, let us know, because that will give Brian the perfect opportunity to tell us all about a relationship that honestly I don't know much about, but all I know is that it sounds like a horror show, and I know my friend survived something.
It's a paywall exclusive story.
Okay.
It doesn't go on the free pod.
Can we just say that she took your Patreon? So that's why
we're
gonna have to.
Right.
Brian married a catfish.
That's not true. That's not true.
No. Okay. He had a 90-day fiance who took his Patreon.
Yes. I mean, that's kind of true.
A modern love story. Like, honestly, a modern love story.
That's kind of true, but there's more to it than that. Malls likes to reduce things. She likes to put me in a box, and it's funny when you do it. I respect it, but there's more to it, and you'll find that at the Baller Lifestyle Red Circle page.
But you also don't let a lot out. Like, remember Brian likes to retell stories like they just happened yesterday. Like, and he'll tell you a story that he told you 3 weeks ago, but when he tells you it again, he'll make it sound like it was recent.
Do I do that?
Yeah, that's a Brian Beckner quality. Yeah, I caught you live on stereo doing it. I was like, dude, you told me that 2 weeks ago and you said it just happened then. Who knows when the original event happened? So I'm just saying you don't give a lot. So when I boil it down, I'm just really trying to understand what you're saying.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's, I'll tell you privately. I think I feel like I have. You get the gist. You just.
No, but like, this is when you like, I mean, to be fair, you've pimped me out to some golf alcoholic in Colorado.
Oh no, you love him, Malls. You love the attention. Don't pretend
and now
that
you're
you don't.
gaslighting me. And now you're fucking gaslighting me.
Oh no, you just as often reach out to him as he reaches out to you.
I was gaslighting you.
Yes,
I was gaslighting you.
I mean, I saw the golf drilling hole tweet. That was Malls. That was flirtatious. That was a sex.
Well, no, I was just saying, like, is this what you do? Because, like, you know, it's like Telly wants to say that he cares about me, but then meanwhile is real fast and loose with these tweets about how he fucks this bartender or how he wants to bang his doctor. He's gonna call up the medical board and have her removed. He's gonna have her license taken away so he can date her.
That's not true. He's gonna switch doctors. That's all. He's gonna allow her to continue practicing medicine, but just not on him.
Well, that's what you think.
I asked him. He's got a female doctor, and I go, well.
That's weird. No, actually, that's not weird. I take it back.
No, it is kind of weird. And I go, has she seen the goods? Because sometimes you got to show your doctor your genitals. And he said, no, she had not seen the goods yet.
It's like a dermatologist.
Right. Could be.
I don't know, man.
I do. I fucking know. Do you know about the, have you read this Am I the Asshole from Reddit about because this was big this week, about the woman who was mad about her mother arranging.
I think this is a delightful, now that we're here talking about, sort of all of our differences of opinions and our reading of scenarios that you and I have.
Yes.
It's perfect that we do this together. So this one went, it was trending for most of a day. Am I the Asshole? I believe we read some of them on here. Maybe we read relationship advice. I'm not sure. But Am I the Asshole is a Reddit where if you have a conundrum, if you were unsure, if you're being told you were a dick by other people or they're treating you like you were a dick, you go on Reddit. You write up a little story about what happened, and you get these people to determine whether or not you are the asshole. This is a very popular subreddit. Really serious stuff, really small stuff, all sorts. So this post went viral. Do you want to read it?
Am I the asshole? I stole my future ex-husband's Patreon money.
Yeah.
And all of his furniture.
But they like to do it deceptively. So it would be like, am I the asshole for not letting my ex-husband's kids eat?
Yes.
And it would be like, so I moved to America and married this guy that had kids, and we got into a fight because in the process of divorcing, I wanted to keep our Patreon. And he told me, you can't do that. This is the money that I use for my family. My kids have to eat. Am I the asshole for, so like that would be the way, because the way that they instruct you to write the headline is to sort of create a reaction.
You're a good listener. Am I the asshole for arranging potluck for my sister's apology dinner? Okay. What is this headline font? Is because she's capitalized apology dinner. Is that like
this is I think apology dinner. I mean, I think that this person is trying to be self-aware about the concept of an apology dinner.
Yeah.
Possibly even being my least favorite, PA, well, passive aggressive.
Big time.
Hate passive aggression more than anything. Can't stand it.
Hey, people that steal your Patreon are very passive aggressive. I remembered about this after reading about another poster's apology dinner. She capitalizes apology dinner every time. So my mom decided to host an apology dinner for my older sister. That's kind of an egg. You could have just said sister.
Maybe, yeah.
It's, it's a thing. She wants to let
It does
people
set
know.
up a nice dynamic, though, to know that she, just in terms
point.
of like family order,
Yes, I rescind it.
she's
You're
the
right.
bitch.
Yep. As my mom was busy writing her apology and whatnot, she asked if I would take care of the food and beverages. That's a pretty big ask. Busy writing an apology. I've written fucking 2 million apologies and they take 5 minutes.
It shouldn't take so long that like you can't go to a grocery store and provide for a spread at a party. Like I feel like there's an apology dinner that needs to happen for asking your daughter to do that. Like, especially if the mom's the one that needs to apologize. No, mom, you're doing it all. You're writing the apology. You're getting the food. Maybe.
Yeah.
What?
No, keep going.
Maybe you can ask your daughter to like drop off at the bakery, grab a couple pies. That's reasonable.
Fuck, I love a pie.
But you don't say, hey, younger daughter, I'm going to be consumed with apologizing to your older sister. So plan this party.
I think we're in agreement on what the best pie is.
Key lime.
Ah, fuck. So good. It's so fucking good. Oh my God, it's good. I got 2 words for you. Taco guy. You want to apologize to somebody? You gotta make a big apology to him. You can outsource the food. You don't do it to family members. You get a fucking taco guy to come over to your house. He brings like a big grill, like a flat grill that he heats up with propane. He stands in your fucking backyard and he cooks up a bunch of chicken. He cooks up a bunch of fucking pork. He cooks up a bunch of beef, carne asada, steak. He lays out all the fucking fixins, warms up the tortillas that someone in his family probably made. And you're eating tacos. And you know what? It's not that expensive. That's what you do. You get a taco guy.
100 tacos?
No. Wait, is that a food truck?
It's like I think like a brother and sister or like, some sort of like young family members that run this little taco company called 100 Tacos, and you pay them like $250 to show up in your backyard at the party, and they make 100 tacos.
Done. You're done. You're done. Absolutely. I'm with that. Okay, I'll continue reading.
That's such a good business plan, by the way. Like, that's so Shark Tank. Like, we make 100 tacos.
Yeah. We're
Very
coming over.
straightforward.
We're making 100 tacos. Yeah. I said sure, thinking it was just for my family of 4. Ellipsis. But when my aunt and cousins, both capitalized, heard, they also wanted to attend. So I decided to make it a potluck, 2 words. Potluck is where she defines potluck.
No, so this is where I start to wonder if she's like fucking dumb.
ESL. Potluck.
No, she's not ESL. No, honey, I think she's quite the opposite. I think she's an American's American.
Right. It's middle America. Potluck.
I think we're talking like when you have to describe to people, when you think people are coming in on such a low level of intelligence and you've been roped into your mom's, go to the honey baked ham store for me scheme.
Yeah.
You're an idiot.
No, I get it. I said sure, thinking it was just for my family of 4. But when my aunt and cousins heard, they also wanted to attend. So I read that part. Potluck is where all the adult guests bring a dish and all the dishes are shared. Of course, I never asked my sister to bring any food because she was the guest of honor. Well, everyone came over and we are all excited. Oh, and she's mixing verb tenses here. And we are all excited to listen to the apology and eat. My sister was among the last to arrive, and she was offended that we were serving potluck for her special dinner. I explained that I had carefully planned what would be served. Sister's boyfriend is a vegetarian. So we had 2 meatless options. But my sister yelled at me that the apology meal, capitalized, should be prepared or at least paid for by the apologizer, my mom, in order to show proper atonement. I don't think that's really the right use of that word. We went forward with the apology dinner, but my sister call me the asshole for undermining the apology. She actually capitalizes asshole, which I appreciate. Am I the asshole for arranging potluck for my sister's apology dinner? Malls.
Yeah.
You think she's the asshole?
No.
For potlucking? She wasn't even apologizing.
I don't. This
Yes.
this family is very fucked up. I found an article.
This is like capturing the Friedmans. They're like capturing the Friedmans
It's
people.
capturing the Friedmans. Dude, like it is capturing the Friedmans. And by the way, like I kind of feel like the mom is coming to the table with that type of apology. And by the way, like the cousins and the aunt coming out to spectate it is insane.
It's disgusting. They're like vampires. They want to come and watch the blood. They want them to see the mom in pain. They're like, the aunt's like, oh, your sister's a fucking bitch. Well, so's my sister, and she's your mom, and so I'm coming. And then it's like the Michael Jackson Thriller, like popcorn gif, because she's just fucking excited to see her sister have to apologize.
No, I think they're like some sick, twisted family where there's like such dark codependence that like the younger sister, I think the younger sister is under the mom's thumb.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the older sister is like out of the house, and she's probably close to cutting her mom out entirely.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I just think the mom's a narcissist. Like she can't even go get the fucking honey baked ham for her own apology dinner. She has to spend all of her time writing her apology, which implies that she's being put out to write the apology. She's so put out by having to write this apology that is so clearly owed that she can't even do the proper things to get ready for the party.
I agree. Yes. Yeah. But I would say this. The older sister is a fucking bitch because she needs to be apologized to properly. She doesn't feel like she's been apologized to properly, but she's a fucking bitch because she was raised by this mother who's a monster also.
Yes. Well, no, I don't think the little sister is a bitch. I think that
the older sister. The older sister.
I don't think the older sister. No, I think it sounds maybe like the older sister got it worse than the younger sister.
Maybe.
And maybe has grown some boundaries. So this is what, according to an MSN article, someone who reached out to the original poster via Reddit messages said that she described to them the apology dinner as this. It's a dinner initiated by one party for the purpose of apologizing to another party, usually a family member or close friend. It's reserved for major disputes in which the parties have stopped talking. Other attendees help mediate, offer support, and perspective, and celebrate the resolution. So to me, honestly, what this sounds like is the mom has done something. She knows she owes the older daughter an apology. The younger daughter, it sounds like, is still under her thumb.
Yeah.
To me, it sounds like, especially the last part, with the aunts and the cousins coming, it sounds like they're basically getting this older sister together to bully her into submission and accepting her mom's behavior. And then when the sister gets there, she's like, okay, so not only have I come here today to be fucking bullied and told that I'm perceiving something poorly, or like, I don't really understand. My mom, just made a mistake, whatever. But you didn't even fucking cook for me.
Yeah.
Like you outsourced all the dishes. Like maybe the daughter was looking forward to come home for one reason and one reason only. Not her mom's apology, but like her famous chicken dish,
lasagna.
Yeah, sometimes you're like holding on. Sometimes you're like, well, my mom has, or this person in my life has fucked me over so many times. But one thing that I really is consistent about them is I love that fucking chicken dish they make. I hope that that's there at my apology dinner.
Yeah, I mean, you've sort of swung me to your side. Here's the other thing. This woman had to explain what potluck was. She's like, so potluck is when everyone is assigned a dish to bring.
She's homeschool hours.
But but she expects us to all be fully aware of what the fuck an apology dinner is. What the fuck is an apology dinner? I never heard of this shit.
That's where I'm getting some like fundamentalist shit. Like,
yes. Oh, they're quiverfuls.
Yes, like the older daughter is out banging her vegetarian boyfriend, and these religious people are at home, and they know what an apology dinner is, but they have to. She's going to take the temperature on whether or not people know what a potluck is. But surely everyone in our cult knows what an apology dinner is, because we have to do them all the time because some kid got molested at a barbecue. Like this is what they do.
Yeah.
I painted this picture. I mean, listen,
Yeah.
maybe.
No, it's capturing the Friedmans, low key. It's that.
It kind of is.
It's what's that? What's the Netflix one where the family they were? Well, it doesn't matter what their religion is. They allowed their daughter to be kidnapped multiple times by the same dude, and then the mom also fucked him, and then the dad also gave him a blowjob.
I can't say I'm familiar with that.
Oh yeah, it was a very zeitgeisty documentary a few years ago. Everyone listening,
is it like wild something of whatever? Is it those people?
No, it's everyone listening within the sound of my voice is yelling the name of this documentary, but because I'm a moron that's taken too many drugs in his life.
Come yell it at us on stereo after this.
Yes, because I can't remember what it's called. But I picture those it's those kind of people that are just that they put on a front to the world where we're like, we're this really together family and we're really happy, but also mom fucked this guy at the church and then dad also blew the guy that mom fucked at the church. Like, I feel like that's this kind of family.
I agree. I completely agree because like the younger sister, she's like on that level where, you know, when you meet someone like almost Amish, where they reference something that's so normal to them.
Yes.
And to you, when you hear it, you're like, whoa, like unpack that. Like, can you unpack that, please? Like, It seems like this girl doesn't even know how far gone she is. And I can't blame the younger sister because I think that whatever this mom is apologizing for, she's probably done to this daughter too, you know?
Yes.
And that makes the sister feel even more alienated because like, you know, she has this, you know, soldier in her sister that's just, you know, working against her, doesn't even realize why. I mean, how clueless does she sound? This is also probably fake. These things are always fake. But I will say on a week that Josh Duggar, that guy from 19 Kids and Counting, was arrested for CP, major charges after just being a creep for years.
Yes.
My mind veers towards this.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree with you. I'm looking in the comments on the